Okay, so if we wanted to take advantage of the debt roll down feature, this is a huge advantage to people who say they don't get a home equity, they can't get a line of credit, maybe they don't have a mortgage, maybe they're just trying to get qualified for a mortgage. This is a great plan you can set them on to start working towards getting their debt-to-income ratios down so that they can get qualified for a mortgage. You can use this feature by showing them, okay, let's get you on the plan. Obviously, you're going to put the mortgage information in. There's no mortgage. Put it in at 0. And then it's going to use, you can use this debt roll down suggestion plan to really help create a margin for them to give them a target to work towards so that they can qualify using the debt-to-income ratio. So it's telling us right now, and obviously it is in red right now because we do not have it right following the plan if we're going to follow it. So it's going to highlight it in red. Okay. Now let's go in here and we can prioritize them. All you need to do is simply click on Edit here on the right-hand side of the screen. Click on Edit, prioritize it. It's telling us that Visa should be number 2 in order behind the Discover card. So I'm going to click it as number 2. I'm going to save that and then come in here to Discover, click on priority number 1, save that. Boom, it's all there. Discover card, Visa, Wells Fargo. Now it's showing up in green because obviously we have it right. We're following the correct debt roll down suggested order, and therefore it's going to be in green for us. So we've got it right. Okay, so you can monkey with that. You can play with it. The calculations, what it's figuring here is the cost of money is the equation it's using. What it costs to borrow that money. Now interest rate may be lower on some of them, but it still may be suggesting it. It's because that money is costing you more per payment, and if you can clear that up, more will be able to go towards interest and help pay down principal on the next one. So it's eating up the principal, so interest is paying less, and you're going to get it paid off a lot quicker there. Okay, the debts and expenses consolidation. Let's look into this one here. The debts and expenses consolidation is simply that. It's a consolidation of any of your debts and expenses that you can put on a credit card. Now let's look into this. Okay, a credit card. What's the advantages of that? So right now, here's all of our debts and all of our expenses. I can get online and I can pay my cell phone with my credit card. Okay, my cell phone bill is due on the 12th of the month. I get on, I pay with my Discover card on the 12th of the month. And then I also put all my expenditures, my restaurants, anytime I go out to dinner, all these different things. I put it on my Discover card because if I pay my cell phone bill on the 12th of November, I do not have to make that payment until December 25th, 26th, in that range. And the reason why is because my bill comes due, or the cycle comes due on the 25th, and then it gives me a 30-day grace period to make that payment. So I name it as my SkyMiles card. That money can then stay in my line of credit, canceling interest up here in the line of credit. The restaurant card, I'm going to put everything on the restaurant. Obviously, I'm not going to pay these other 2 different expenses. I have a 30-day grace period, meaning when the cycle expires to when the payment is due. That's what the grace period is, and the date of the month it's due. Okay, it's due on, we'll say the 25th. Save that information. Okay, this can help really accelerate a plan if they don't have a line of credit as well, just because it's keeping that money in a line of credit. It's keeping that money, not paying interest on it. It's using that money for free for periods of times. Now what the software is going to do is the software is going to account that on the 25th of each month, it's going to be paying off in full $150 of my cell phone, $60 of my restaurant accounts. Okay? All right, so that's the debt and expenses. It's simply a consolidation credit card, something that will be paid off in full every month. If it's not going to be paid off in full, obviously it's going to have to go up into the debts category or the expenses category. You need to put it into there. If it's something that's not going to be paid off, you're not going to want to put it on this consolidation card. Okay, let's jump down here to the investment one. I've been pretty long-winded on this one, but we need to understand these inside and out. Okay, investment feature, simply that. if they want to track their investments, track their net worth, all that stuff, you can come in here, put in their information, what they're inputting it into. Those of you who have license to sell securities or other products, you can use this as a great selling tool to get them to invest in different things, whole life insurance plans, EIULs, annuities, whatever it may be. We'll say they're starting out with a zero balance. They're going to get a 4.5% return. They're going to end it when the mortgage would have been paid off originally. And we're going to say they're going to put $800 a month into that on the 15th and save that information. Okay. So when they calculate the plan, it's going to take into consideration all these things. Now what I want to do is I want to show you how you can edit this information once you've run the plan and make sure you are up to speed on that. Okay, let's answer a few questions here. Okay, so the question is, what if I charge clients or have the client charge their food and gas on a credit card each month? What will happen? Where do we put that in? Obviously, you're going to put that in as an expense. You're going to put that debt in as an expense, and then you're going to pay it off every month with that consolidation card. So you're going to put in gas as an expense, how much you spend on that. You're going to put in restaurants as an expense, or food or groceries as an expense, and then what you're going to do is put in the consolidation card. You're going to click on that those will be paid off for you there. Thank you for your question there, Nina. And then I asked, how many months do you put to pay off a credit card? It's not asking a time period for the credit card. It will figure out the time frame of how long it will be. Knowing interest rate, payment, and balance, it can figure out the other factor of how much time is remaining on that credit card. There are some new laws out there that require that they have to pay so much to principal, so they're not always just going in further and further into debt. So to answer your question, Cecil, is how many months do you put to pay on a credit card? You don't put any months on there of how much is needed to be paid. Okay, so finishing up here, I'm going to get to a few more questions in just a second here. Okay, so it's spitting out our plan for us. It looks like it's going to get us out of debt in 4 years. We're going to save $190,000. Well, let's break this down. Okay, this is how much we save on our mortgages right here in the mortgage details. Okay, so this section covers all of our mortgage information. Okay, that is where the majority of your savings comes from, is from the mortgage. Okay, that's why it is a mortgage acceleration software. Okay, the mortgage will actually be paid off on November 1st of 2012. That's 3.99 years away. This is how much mortgage savings we're going to have. Here's our effective interest rate. And here's all the details of our mortgage right now. Okay, here's it figured out our principal and interest payment and our taxes and insurance right here. Okay, coming back up here on the screen, this is the line of credit details. Okay, some people ask, okay, well, yeah, I pay off my mortgage, but when do I pay off my line of credit? Well, it's going to tell you exactly right here. You're going to pay off your line of credit 5 days later on the 6th. That must be when an income is coming in. And your total savings is going to be $193.44. Okay, you know, it's not much more than the mortgage savings because that's where the lump sum of your savings comes. So it's just under $300 extra savings here. Okay, well, let's look at your debts here. It's going to outline all your debts for you and tell you exact payoff dates. This is kind of the nerdy sheet right here. It's not the beautiful gooed up versions where you can see all the, you know, it looks all pretty, but it has all the details here for you. Okay, so Discover debt right now. Here's our information. We owe $4,500 bucks. Our payment's $532. We're going to have this thing paid off on 12/23/2008. So it's going to give us exact time, and we're going to save $135 in interest on that. On the Visa card, $3,300 bucks there we owe on it. We're going to have it paid off on the 16th of 2009. So just over 2 months here, we'll have that paid off. That's how much total debt we have. Here's what our debt roll down program is telling us to do, and it does tell us, yes, you are using the suggested